Hey yo, it's Bretto, coming to you with another ENS Daily Podcast. I'm your host, Bretto.eth, student of the universe, creative, programmer. I do things. I like the internet. I like technology. We're going to go over some of that stuff in this podcast. So we left off at the digital in our last video. Now we're going on to the beer. So that was sold for one Ethereum. That's $3,445 at the time, September 7th. But the thing is, how much did beer go for? Because we went over the digital. Like, is the digital worth it? I think digital's way better. How much did beer go for? 30 Ethereum. Do you know who owns this wallet? Budweiser. Look at that, Budweiser. I think we went over that before, but they're beyond beer. It's such a cool, it's so cool that they want to get involved. How much is 30 times 4,000? 120,000 to secure beer.eth. I can imagine in every single virtual world, there's a guy running around with the Web3 username beer.eth. And who is it? It's like Duff Man, but it's Beer Man, and it's Budweiser. That's going to be the brand. Like if someone made a Simpsons one, I wonder if Duff is taken. That would be cool. Duff. Let's peep. Might not be. It is. I wonder how much the underpeg paid. Oh, they minted it. Nice call. That's probably a few hundred because the 4-letter ones are more expensive than 5 and up. 3 letters most expensive. Fatal sold for an ETH, $3,400. So YNGMI. If I wasn't in the space, I'd have no idea what that means, but that stands for you're not gonna make it. It's like when you're investing in something, and then there's a little dip, and you get really scared. You're not gonna make it. You're gonna sell. You're gonna look foolish when it 10x's. And then when you decide not to sell, because you remember that you didn't make it last time, you sold it in a 10x, it drops to 0. The rug gets pulled. You're screwed. You have no more savings. That's just the way the game works. On September 9th, someone bought Kobe.eth for 3.5 Ethereum. That's cool. Kobe is a name. I'm used to seeing Kobe with a Y more, but I know Kobe Bryant was with an E, R-I-P, one of the GOATs. From Chris Bell to this dude. I think we didn't explore this guy before. I think we've explored Chris Bell's before. Let's just check it again to make sure. They own Patriots.eth. The Patriots is not taken. Silas.eth, Butch.eth. Some Somnium Space VR. Somnium. What is Somnium? Somnium Space? Maybe that'll be this one. Somnium Space. Let's look into it. Looks like it's legit. And then we got Donations. Somnium Space, created by Somnium Space, Limited Ltd. An open, social, and persistent digital world. I wonder if it's going to log me right in. Trade Cubes, OpenSea, Uniswap, Polygons, Unity SDK, Builder, Marketplace, Ethereum. True ownership of in-game in partnership with Matic and OpenSea. By tokenizing Somnium in-game assets and land parcels, we are forever decoupling Somnium Space as a company from owning and operating database of parcels and all in-game items by giving this power to our users. Exciting stuff. Yeah, that's really cool. I think their website could use a little overhaul, if you ask me, but I mean, the actual game is probably way cooler and better. I just like these buttons to me look a little... Like there should be some different padding maybe, like it looks like... I don't know. Maybe I'm just hating. I mean, I've definitely coded worse. Cross-platform, available on all major VR headsets. Persistent social VR world. Persistent. It sticks around even when you're not there. It's social. Unlimited scalable world by users within one instance. That's a good word. Instance. What is an instance? So like right this instant means right now. Instant. This instance is, let's say there's 5 dogs. Each dog is an instance of a dog. Just like every program, when you're in a virtual world, there would be an instance of that program running. If it's a shared instance, that means we're all part of the same one, which is super important for this whole blockchain Web3 business, because if there were multiple instances, it'd be like, well, cool, you own half the world in this game, but I can just log into another instance where you don't exist. And now there's utility and purpose for having multiple instances, but there's not as much of a flex that like people are looking for with some of this stuff, like actual ownership, saying, I own this stuff, I have this. And someone can copy what you own digitally and have an instance of it, but it's not the authentic thing. You can't authenticate that that is actually owned by you unless you have the private key associated with the wallet that it's been distributed to. Moving on. Live forever. Automatic recording mode of yourself on your own property for future AI analysis to bring your avatar to life. Automatic recording mode of yourself on your property for future AI analysis to bring your avatar to life. Oh, I wonder. Ooh, that'd be cool. Like, oh, it like checks your behavior and tries to replicate it when you're not around. That'd be really funny. Especially if like you're like, first you go to the bank, then you go to the gym, you go to the club, and like then your character just goes on autopilot to those places. And then let's say someone's like, oh, they see you. Oh, hey, Brett. And like, you're not even on. But then because you're usually on, it notifies the real you saying, hey, what if that's what the real world's like? Sometimes I think that like there's this mesh, there's this overlay. Like everyone is an NPC other than you. But when you interact with them, you're actually interacting with like the higher self of someone. So like the window to the soul, when you see someone's eyes, they're on autopilot. But when you actually interact with them, there's like there's a merging, there's like a union of like what's actually happening between those two people and their highest self. Or like, I almost want to distinguish, there's like the NPC versions of everyone. Then there's like who you are. There's like the real you. Then there's the highest version of you, which is what we should all be striving for. And maybe this is all just pie in the sky, mystical BS, but then like the idea that when you interact with someone, you're almost like tagging in their real self, the real self associated with this iteration of your existence. So in that way, there could be an infinite matrix of all the different realities, but it's like combinatorically speaking, it's infinite times infinity. And that doesn't make sense, but like the biggest number times the biggest number, like it doesn't make sense that could even be possible. But whatever the max is, like the max real, because I guess there should be a limit, but the limit is unfathomable, so we call it infinity. I would argue that like there's like a numerical infinity and a non-numerical infinity. There's the idea of infinity, but then there's like what most people are referring to, which is like your hand could go up in a bunch of different ways, but there's a limit as to how many different ways it can go, like based on how much you slice reality. We're not even going to get into this anymore, but basically what I'm saying is it'd be really cool if it like tracked your behavior and then like tagged you in when someone wanted to interact with you, and you'd get a notification, and like it would almost be like a buzz, and like right at that moment that person could like check their watch, see if they want to interact with you, and if they don't want to interact with you, they'd ignore you, and in the game that person would just look at you and then just be like ignore you. Like it'd be sad, but I imagine that now that I never thought of that, but I think that's going to be the direction that this goes. We're going to be living forever, like digitally, and whether the real us is there or not, like the illusion can be made that we're actually there. It's so sad. And then we hook up to computers, and then we're the immortal gods of our universe, and then we never wake up. Scriptable world. Program your own experience and monetize through the asset store or on your own property. Ooh, like you have AI do it, or you have a script where like you're like, all right, Brett, like go, all right, Bretto.eth, go to the club, then go to the grocery store, then go to the art gallery that so-and-so owns, and talk to these people in this way. And if they respond, hit me back, and then I'll get to them with a human response. But you write a really good script so that they can like, it feels real. I mean, you can maybe make money that way, and then that would translate to the real world, considering the ownership translates to the real world with blockchain. It's linking these two things together. The integration of blockchain allows true ownership of digital goods, avatars, items, and virtual land. We are creating a long-lasting economy which will allow instant monetization for our in-world creators. Cool. Monetize your space. Take advantage of fully programmatic VR advertisement plugin. Capture and analyze gaze tracking, engagement, and conversion rates. This is actually really cool. I believe in this project. It's a little extreme, right? But that's the direction this stuff's going. It's just, why is this stuff not... I guess it's Google Calendar, but it looks so early 2000s, some of this stuff. But I bet the actual game and the VR experience is so much better. Like, this is just the portal to, like, hey, this is our cool stuff. We're not going to... I'm just hating. This is probably awesome. There's Somnium Web, and then there's a VR client. I don't have a good Windows computer, but when I do, we would want to explore that one. That was all from Kobe. Thanks, Kobe.eth, for $12,347. Now we have Lord Keck for 7 ETH. Hilarious. Twice as much as Kobe for $24,000. Lord Keck. Keck, Cult of Keck, Kekoshi. What is Keck? Is a meme, isn't it? I'm surprised it doesn't have the picture. Yep, that's Keck. That little frog right there. Or no, that's Peppy the Frog. But so then what is Keck? We're going to have to Google it. Rare Peppy Fan Club. Look at all this stuff. Lord Keck. Ooh. Akatsuki. Deidara. He done. Two things. We're going to look up Keck, and then we're going to look up the whale watch. Keck is an online term with similar meaning to LOL. Like when people laugh, they go... For some reason, in the 2016 election, the Egyptian god Keck, portrayed as Peppy the Frog, had become a symbol of the so-called alt-right, according to Google Dictionary. Do with that what you will. We're now going to go on to Ether Wallet Whale, Ethereum Whale Wallet. I think it's Etherscan. So yeah, those are... I almost stopped the recording. That would have been unfortunate. All Ethereum whales in real time. I think it's whale stats. So we just saw Akatsuki, right? Akatsuki. Deidara. These are characters from fantasy worlds. Itachi, that is a character from Naruto who is part of the Akatsuki. His story, amazing. You gotta check it out. Naruto's number 2. The US dollar value of this wallet is over $7 million. Amazing. It makes you think. The top transactions, there's an $11 million US dollar transaction. So crypto.com coin is what, like, the big mover right now. Alice.eth. I like that name. It's one of my favorite girls' names. But yeah, let's look at these. Light Yagami, that's a character from Death Note. Death Note being a story about a character who finds a book of a god of death, or like a diary almost, and you get to write the names and how they die, and then the book makes it happen. You got this one, kind of lame. Wait, is that billion? Total value of ERC20. The Naruto one has 10, but this one has over $1 billion. Light Yagami has over $4 billion. Aragorn, $421,000 of just ERC20 tokens. And if you look at their total ETH value, oh, did I say 7 million? I meant 7 billion. Yeah, these are, so there's the US dollar value, there's the total ETH value, and then there's the ERC20 tokens. ERC20 is, I believe, a token spec, if I'm not mistaken. ERC20, let's make sure, is a standard used for creating and issuing smart contracts on the Ethereum blockchain. Smart contracts can then be used to create smart property or tokenized assets that people can invest in. ERC stands for Ethereum Request for Comment, and the Ethereum Request for Comment 20 standard was implemented in 2015. I believe it's called Ethereum Request for Comment because it's just open source community. Ethereum is a decentralized open source blockchain. So you're requesting that other people in the community like check out what you proposed. And if the standard that you've created is good enough, it gets implemented. But that's why you're requesting for comment. And I know it can get a little confusing with some of this stuff like ERC20, and I kind of wish that they'd make it more human readable. But, it's important that the community knows that, like, it's open source, request for comment. If the community members like it, they go forward with it. Let's keep going with this. I think Aragorn is in Lord of the Rings. Same with Bilbo. Dumbledore's Harry Potter. Daenerys Targaryen from Lord of the Rings. Nope, not. Ooh, I'm going to get heat for that one. Game of Thrones. I love that show. I love Daenerys. I will fight people over the last episode, though. It was poetic. Tsunade from Naruto. Jiraiya from Naruto. The legendary Sannin. Where's Orochimaru? So, yeah, there's, like, for some reason these wallets have names. Why is it called Itachi? Is it like, does he own Itachi.eth, or has it just been named that? But I think you can, biggest token position by value sync. Before we leave, let's check out what the zkSync token is all about, because one of the biggest holders has a bunch of it. zkSync, rely on math, not validators. Solves Ethereum scalability with zero security compromises, a growing movement. zkSync. Yeah, we're going to want to explore this more later, but we ran out of time. So I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. This is Bretto signing out.